I want to thank you for joining me today for this webcast. I know you're busy and we appreciate your investing the time to look at something that could dramatically improve your day-to-day IBM data management. My name's Christopher David. I am your presenter today. My background is based in banking and finance. I'm not a programmer nor particularly technical, so if you're a regular Joe user like me, I want you to have one takeaway today. If I can export reports from the IBM this easily to PDF and Excel and automate the distribution by email or to whomever and archive them, I'm sure you can too. Let's get started. This webinar is being hosted today by DRV Technologies, an IBM software development firm specializing in solutions exclusively for the IBM iSeries and AS400. We're located right here in Atlanta, Georgia, USA. DRV has been helping shops like yours since 2002 with easy-to-use solutions that we call Flex tools. We'll be focusing today on SpoolFlex, which is our electronic report conversion, distribution, and archiving tool for archiving your existing spooled files. That can be integrated very nicely with FormFlex for electronic form delivery and printing. You may have the desire to create custom reports. DBX may help out there. It's similar to the Query 400, and it allows you to query your database files on the IBM and output them to PDF and Excel, and that can be integrated with SpoolFlex as well for automated distribution. Let's take a look at the concept of automating report distribution. Organizations today have an alternative to printing and manually distributing reports on hard copy. Exporting IBM reports to user-friendly formats like PDF and Excel allows for electronic distribution and archiving, which reduces printing and distribution costs and delivers critical data to the people who need it faster in a format they can use immediately. If your company is still printing reports, or did in the past, you may recognize this basic labor-intensive workflow: printing, bursting, sorting. Well, the main reason that people consider moving to automated report distribution is to, quote, go paperless, to eliminate the paper waste, to streamline resources, and reduce manual processing. Automated report distribution eliminates the printing phase and instead puts reports into electronic formats like PDF and Excel. These reports can be automatically burst and delivered to the people that need the data, and it can be scheduled to run without human interaction. This means people can get the data they need in the formats they want in real time. If a report needs to be located later, the archived electronic formats are text searchable, so you can easily locate them, view them, and share them. Now, here's a quick comparison of traditional report management to automated distribution. There have been studies made that state that document management can consume up to 17% of an organization's gross revenue when you take into consideration printing costs, storage costs, inventorying, filing, searching for lost files, etc., etc. The labor costs associated with manual processing are staggering. Automated conversion and distribution eliminates the paper waste and the associated man hours. And perhaps more importantly, it puts the information into the hands of the people that need it to make the business decisions needed for your company to stay ahead and allow you to focus your efforts on core responsibilities instead of paper chasing. Now, many of you out there today may already get your reports electronically instead of on paper. You may be familiar with this process of dragging spool data out of the IBM and into Excel or PDF using Navigator like you see here. IBM's new operating system 7.1 even has some command line procedures that you can key into them to get into PDF. Now, I've done that. Personally, I found it a little bit difficult to do. I'm not real technical, and it was a lot of steps. Very, very manual. Either way, it's a manual process. It's time-consuming. And it has the potential to corrupt data, especially when you're importing into Excel. Reports can be pulled over to the PC as a text or CSV file and then imported into the Excel through these many-step processes. I was at a trade show and scanned several of our clients' to get information to follow up with them later. There's about 300 records in a flat file. When I tried to put that into an Excel spreadsheet, it took me almost 4 hours to manually import it because the data was all over the place. Now, it's not rocket science, but hey, time's valuable, and processing this way is slow, and it can compromise data integrity. Too often, as you can see, the spreadsheet just doesn't format correctly, and it requires additional time to manually edit. You can see here, data is split. Sometimes everything will be crammed into a single cell. Your headings are repeated throughout the report or not at all. Negative signs may be dropped altogether. If it doesn't like the way if Excel doesn't like the way the IBM I formats a report, it may change it at its discretion. I mean, come on. There's got to be a better way. Well, fortunately, there is. The alternative is to use a third-party solution that's designed specifically to format IBM I reports to PDF and Excel, and goes further to deliver the reports to where they're needed. Now, DRV has a solution here that I'm going to show you today called SpoolFlex software, which runs natively on the IBM I, iSeries, and AS400 to modernize IBM I application reports by exporting directly to Excel, PDF, and other user-friendly formats without programming, application modifications, or a PhD in computer science. It's an intuitive solution, it's well supported, and most of all, it's easy to use. SpoolFlex can convert spool files directly to a variety of electronic formats, including those that you see here. By far the most popular are PDF and Excel. Now, someone was asking earlier if we can also create custom reports because they don't have certain reports and they don't want to go to IT to request reports and then go back to them 5 minutes later and ask for a little bit different report. That's not a problem. Our DBX Flex can be integrated with SpoolFlex so that you can create custom reports exactly where you want. And it's very user-friendly. Again, I'm not technical. I learned how to use DBX Flex to create my own custom reports in about 15 minutes. You may have more complicated requirements. We invite you to take a look. Because SpoolFlex and DBX Flex run natively on the IBM system, you can have a standardized method to export reports without the disadvantages of PC-based solutions, such as per-user licensing and additional hardware. It's all menu-driven, so you don't have to worry about remembering commands or keying the wrong parameters. If you ever need help, you can just call on us here at DRV for assistance. It's included with the maintenance. Now, this is viewing a spool file. With just a couple of keystrokes, I can go from this spool file directly to a fully formatted, color-enhanced Excel spreadsheet. This came off the 400. That'll blow some people's socks off. Now, let's take a look at some real examples. Now, SpoolFlex, again, it runs natively on the IBM I, and it can be used to convert to a wide variety of formats, taking your existing spool files. Now, these might be vanilla reports that come out of your custom application, or you might have a third-party application by Infor or JD Edwards, HTE, SunGuard, a wide variety that we can work with. If it outputs a spool file, we can convert it. So let's take a look at an actual report here. We'll go over to the live software and get out of PowerPoint. This is our Flex Tool software. I'm going to focus today's presentation on SpoolFlex, but we'll jump right in and take a look. Now, if you're running on IBM's operating system v6.1 or 7.1 or higher when it comes out, then we can our commands can be called from the work out queue or work with print file commands. But I'm going to show you how it's done using our manage spool file menu, which is very similar to a work out queue command. And you can change the out queue and look for a different report. In this case, I'm searching in this out queue for this user's reports. And I found some good ones in here. Here's a sales report that we were viewing just a moment ago on my PowerPoint slide. And let's say I wanted to convert this report. I can use the SpoolFlex commands directly from this screen. And I'm going to put a C on it to convert it. And it asks me what output type I want to choose from. And these are all the different output types you can choose from. Now, a lot of companies will only output to CSV. Well, we output to 2 different kinds of CSV and several kinds of text file as well. But if you want to go to Excel, why not go directly to Excel? Hit Enter and hit Enter again. We'll name this file, and it could be, you can have spaces in it. It could be long and descriptive. Now I'm doing this manually, so I'm keying these in, but I'm going to show you some other really cool features to automate it in a moment. Now I'm putting this out to the IFS, but we could just as easily push this file out to your network server if you prefer, or in this case what I'm going to do, I'm going to open it up right on my desktop live. Now, to go to Excel, the software has a couple of questions. It wants to know where your headings are located because we give you the option to suppress headings if you want to. So I'm going to include them on the first page anyway. And then it also wants to know if you want, what kind of an analysis do you want it to do as it determines where the columns begin and end. These are appropriate for this report. I'm going to hit enter, and the conversion takes place. Not only is it converting to Excel, but it's also going to open up Excel on my desktop because I've chosen that option in the software. And it's going to open up the spreadsheet right here on my screen. It's very slow because it's Excel, but what can I do? And there you see, it's an actual spreadsheet. That was the same report that we saw a moment ago. And this spreadsheet you can add, if you want, you can add calculations, you can sort it if you want to. It's a live spreadsheet, and it looks pretty good. Negative numbers are correctly formatted. Your headings are actually formatted differently from the detail in the columns below. So it's got some pretty powerful features for Excel conversion, as you can see. Well, what about, distributing it? If I wanted to, let's say, email that report, I'll try PDF this time. In fact, I also want to send a couple of reports as PDF. Maybe I want to send them in a single email so that it has multiple attachments in that single email. When I hit enter, it's asking who I want to send it to. Do I want to change the subject? I'm just going to hit enter and send it to myself. And as quick as I can say it, SpoolFlex just converted those 3 reports to PDF and emailed them to me. Now, I don't care if you're using the 7.1 or what process you might be using. It's difficult to be much easier than that to get a report to convert and email it, as you can see I just did. And here's the first report, which looks like a sales report, which is great. Here's the second report, and then here's the third report. All of that was done while I was talking. It's just fast. The SpoolFlex software can convert about 10,000 pages per minute to PDF on a new Power 7. It's a fantastic platform. We're proud to be business development partners with IBM. So now that you have seen that you can manually convert and distribute a report, that's just the beginning. It's pretty cool, but hey, you can also create what we call output definitions, where they're like templates or cookie cutters that allow you to stamp out from a report and export directly to Excel, PDF, Word, HTML, a variety of output formats. And then these templates are going to store the formatting information, the options, and dynamic variables that you may want to use to create unique names and specify the locations where you might want to archive them. These templates determine how the report is formatted and can be used in workflow routines to deliver the reports to the people that need them in the format they want in real time. People will get the data in minutes instead of days in a format that they can analyze immediately and sort and play what-if scenarios, dice and slice. It's an incredible when you start getting these reports to people who think that the AS400 or the IBM I is a dinosaur. All of a sudden they get the reports in a familiar format. Wow. And I would love to see a server convert a 50,000 page report to PDF in under 5 minutes. That's the IBM Power System at its best, just crunching out the numbers. Now, automated report distribution combines the conversion of selected reports to the e-formats that we've discussed with the ability to deliver them to individuals or groups seamlessly without intervention. So there's 3 components: convert, delivery, and automation. That's really what automated report distribution is all about. So as you can see, here's what we can do is we can pull variables. You can hard code in data, pull variable from the spool file and job variables, and that could be used to name the file and route it. In this case, this could be pushed out to a network server in a unique folder based on department number, salesman number, what have you. Well, let's take a look at something like that real quick. We'll go back to our green screen, if you will. And let's say I've created an output definition to do something like that. Again, an output definition is like a template or that cookie cutter that we were talking about just a little while ago. This one is for an Excel spreadsheet, but again, you could choose any of these output types that you're looking for. If you need flat files to import to a database, CSV is good. Excel, if you want to look at spreadsheets and add color and formatting. PDF, we can also add color and formatting, page selection, add images to make it look nicer, HTML. I'm going to choose Excel for this example. And as you saw a moment ago, I'm pulling in variables that will uniquely name the file. If you've got 100 files out in a directory, you don't want to have to open each one just to see what it is. This one's going to be named Sales Report for the company it's generated for. It could pull the department if it was bursting it apart. And you can also prompt here and see a wide variety of the variables you can choose from. Spool data, spool file attributes, user data, user-defined fields, etc., etc. It's kind of like an advanced document management feature built into a very easy-to-use utility. Formatting options. You can choose whether or not you want your column headings to appear or not. Setting that is just as easy as saying, find the file and view it. Tell it, this is my column heading, starting here and ending here. And it'll actually import those values into the software. It's that kind of intuition that makes this software so easy to use. And of course, then you have different options you can choose from. You can tell it that you want a file to be landscape or versus portrait. You might want to say exclude the first page that's a summary, or exclude the last page, or exclude any row that contains the word total. Highlight my total lines. Do an analysis that compares two values and highlight a third value. You can do data extraction, all kinds of business intelligence that's going to get the data to somebody in a format that's more user-friendly than what they're getting on the printed page today. Now, this output definition can then be plugged into the automated report distribution. To do that, we're going to go in and take a look at one. This one is an example for that same distribution. This one is going to say, look and monitor this outcue. And the selection criteria is going to be based, in this case, on a form type of sales and a printer file name. You could have a combination of those. If that's not enough, you can use what we call a spool file selection definition that can select up to, I think it's 13 or 15 different variables and have multiple combinations of those. So it's an almost infinite variety, very, very granular selection process to get just the reports you want distributed the way you want. Then you can add different sequences. In this case, when it sees a spool file, it's going to convert it. It's going to send the complete report as an attachment, as a spreadsheet to the sales director. It's going to take the report out then and burst it, and it's going to put a copy out on a network drive and email each of my salespeople and let them know that it's out there waiting for them. It's going to use that output definition that we just looked at to format the Excel spreadsheet. You can also customize what the email says. You can have a subject that pulls the file name, spool file, job variables, things like that. You can also customize what the message itself says. When it executes, it's going to go out. In this case, if I'm one of the salesmen, I'm going to get an email that has a link. Notice there's no attachment. Oh, your network administrator is going to love that an email is only 6 kilobytes instead of 600 because it's got a file attached. As far as the sales guy goes, he just gets this link, he clicks on it, there's his report. Now this PDF, I added an image. The image happens to be a full-size letterhead, but you can see that's pretty nice for a PDF report that we just generated. That's pretty cool. If you wanted to, instead, if somebody was off-site, they didn't have access to your internal intranet, then you could also have an attachment. In this case, I've got a spreadsheet. And you can see here, this was a spreadsheet using that output definition we looked at moments ago. And full color Excel. You can't do that in CSV. You can't do that with text, but in Excel you can. Now, you'll notice this also did an analysis. It locked headings in place. Sales greater than 70% profitable are highlighted. Even total lines are being highlighted. We've added color of all kinds, centering, so many formatting options to make the final report look like it was tweaked manually. And this is something that you set up one time and it just occurs over and over. And setting this up is really easy to do. everything I'm showing you today, I set up personally. And again, my background is finance. If I can do it, I promise you, you can as well. So let's go back over here and look at another one. Those are pretty cool. And as you saw, there we go. If you wanted to, you could even embed HTML report right in the email itself. I was opening up on the other monitor. And this is cool. It looks like a spreadsheet, but it can't be edited. So that's kind of neat. You can also add signatures at the bottom of the email. There's all kinds of neat things that you can do. So the formatting options are wide and a great variety. And we really recommend that if you're looking at some report management to keep your flexibility wide open like that. You want to have as much flexibility as possible. Now, in addition to delivering the report, you want to have a copy stored somewhere. Let's say that you integrated SpoolFlex with an electronic form software like our FormFlex software, because you can add electronic overlays and email invoices, email statements, fax purchase orders, all natively from the IBM i. But let's say it's 6 weeks, 8, 9 weeks out, and I run my AR, my aging report, and I put it into an Excel spreadsheet, and SpoolFlex automatically highlights those that are 45 days past due. And I see this customer is past due, so I call them up and say, we haven't been paid. Is there a problem? Well, they're going to say, I never received my statement. Can you send that to me again? Well, no problem. Instead of doing what I used to do, which would be to go down to the filing cabinet, open the file drawer, try to find the file if it hasn't been misfiled, and pull it out, and then go down, fax it, or make a copy of it and mail it to them. That whole process just reeks of needing to be modernized. Well, how about this? What do I just double click on this folder? It brings the file up, and which is text searchable. I can right click on it and email it and have confirmation while I have the person on the phone. I'm going to get paid faster. That's a tremendous advantage over hard copy management. Now, all of this can be fully automated. Built into SpoolFlex is what we call the Spool Sentry. It's a job scheduler and an out queue monitor. What this does for you is it means that you can set up these processes and automate them so that they run seamlessly day in and day out. SpoolFlex never calls in sick. It doesn't ever forget. It just runs and runs like a robot. Just like they do with their building cars, this becomes your automated report and document management assistant. It can run at 4 o'clock in the morning. It can run on Sundays, on holidays, what have you. It can even notify you when a distribution has occurred or hasn't occurred. If something's wrong, or maybe a nightly backup didn't complete, or a nightly update in a spool file that it was expecting isn't there, it can let you know. Some people don't want to know about that in the middle of the night. Some people would rather dial in and fix it before it becomes a hotbed of phone calls at 8 o'clock when you first get in the morning. So we see that there's a lot of benefits to automating report distribution. And if you're considering moving in this direction, a lot of people consider this moving into a paperless direction, what kind of a solution should you consider? Well, the first thought is, well, gosh, we could program this ourselves. We could do this in-house, no problem. Well, we've had clients do that. One client in particular looked at our software about 5 years ago and said, wow, that's so easy to use and everything. I bet I could make that myself. And so they did. They embarked on the efforts to go through, and they spent the next 3.5, 4 years developing an in-house solution. Well, we estimate that in resources, they spent over $85,000 developing this in-house solution when they could have purchased an off-the-shelf solution implemented for about $5,000. Now, does that sound like a good use of resources to you? What makes it worse is that when that person retired, that's when they discovered that the solution they had spent $85,000 to develop didn't work properly. Anything over 30 pages blew up. It wouldn't be delivered. It couldn't burst as was the original goal, but it could email some things as PDF, but it didn't do Excel. So the question is, why reinvent the wheel when you can do it cost effectively and have it fully implemented with people who really know their stuff? I mean, that's just a no-brainer for me, because you're going to make that money many, many times over back just in cost savings. One of our clients implemented SpoolFlex, and within 3 months fully automated the distribution of over 60 reports. They were written up in an IBM magazine and estimated that they were saving over 2.1 million sheets of paper per year, saving over $50,000 per year for an investment of about $5,000. That's amazing to me. So I just can't imagine why everybody wouldn't just pick something up off the shelf and implement it. Whether it's SpoolFlex or another solution, we encourage you to please consider report distribution, if not for your own bottom line, as they say, for your kids and their kids, and keeping the planet green, all that good stuff. It's a big impetus of IBM, and we follow along with that. We think it's a great initiative. Now, what your solution should include, we think that the solution should be native to the IBM I. Why? Well, additional hardware means it will eventually become obsolete. You can always upgrade your software, and we're our IBM business development partners, so we're always going to be not only keeping it available for current operating systems, but constantly updating and enhancing it. So what you buy today will be even better tomorrow. It should be able to automatically identify the reports that you want, filter through them, convert them, and then deliver them, whether it's by email or faxing, and also archiving them with dynamic naming and pathing. That's really important stuff too. It's you don't have to go out and buy a $50,000 or $100,000 or $300,000 document management system if you have something that's taking your reports, converting them to the desired format, and intelligently naming them. Now, if you already have one of those $50,000, $100,000, or $300,000 document management systems, this can feed it those systems. It can convert the desired reports into the desired formats, put them out into a folder that's being pulled by the document management system, and then it'll import them in. We've done this with many of our clients, including SharePoint, On Demand, etc. Finally, we recommend that it has the capability to be able, whether you're using a document management system or if you're just using Windows search capabilities, our software will support that because we output text searchable formats. So you should be able to search on a file, view it, and then resend it, so you don't have to have hard copy that you're paper chasing all day. Now, of course, SpoolFlex is our preferred choice because we developed this. We're not the only solution in the world, but we're a very reasonably priced, very intuitive, and easy to use solution. It does everything that we just described. It is native IBM I software. It delivers the data where it's needed in the formats that we've described today, modern office formats, without wasting a single piece of paper. And, of course, the distribution can be fully automated with emailing and archiving to your network file servers to help reduce the delivery and storage costs and streamlining the way you manage your data. If this looks interesting to you, we encourage you to reach out and explore some of the solutions out there. We offer a free evaluation. If you'd like to download the software, we support any of the operating systems, IBM OS v5r1 or higher, including the newest versions, as you see here, 6.1 and 7.1. And as IBM Business Development Partners, as new versions become available, we will continue to keep our software up to date and compatible with those systems as well. The 15-day trial is no obligation. If you get it in, you don't like it, it's not as easy and intuitive to use as we say, there's no harm, no foul. It's no obligation, and we mean that. We'll still be friends. We just appreciate you taking a look and giving it a shot. We also offer in the free trial access to our online library, which includes quick start guides, tutorials, recordings, how-to documents, etc., etc. But more importantly, you have access to unlimited free technical support. These guys are experts in this field. They can ask you what you want to do. They can show you how to do it. You don't have to learn the software to see it do what you want it to do. They'll show you. They'll even do it on your system if you want them to, and they'll set it up. They'll let you run it. You want to set it up yourself, they'll show you how it works. All of our technical support and development are located here in our headquarters in Atlanta, Georgia. So that means when you call in, you're going to get a live person, not a voicemail tree. We're not going to transfer you to a call center in another country where you have to keep re-explaining your situation over and over, or just have support by email. We have live people who really know their stuff. We'll get you software installed, we'll get you up and running and configured, and we'll show you exactly what you want to do. If we can't, again, no obligation. You can just pass if you have to, no problem. If you do decide that after 15 days it meets your needs, we even offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on top of that. So it's almost like having a 45-day free trial. Since 2002, we've been in business. We've been rewarded with over 1,600 software installations since opening our doors, and even have a special industry award for customer service above and beyond the call of duty. I encourage you to take a closer look and see what it's all about. Our philosophy and focus on the 400 has been richly rewarded with, as you can see, a number of our customers that you may recognize here. They are named, household names: GlaxoSmithKline, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, Toyota, Caterpillar, LL Bean, as well as smaller shops, mom and pop shops, cities, counties, government agencies, waste management, all over the board. They're from different industries with widely different report management requirements. The one thing they have in common is that they're on the IBM I, and they have a need to improve the way that they're managing their day-to-day report management, whether it's with spool files or extracting data from database files or electronic forms that they want to be able to print to laser printers. We've been able to help these clients out, and we'd be delighted to work with you as well. So bottom line, regardless of whether your business is finance, manufacturing, distribution, or even a small government, hey, SpoolFlex will save you the time and money for a very small investment. Now, I want to thank you for joining us, and in a moment we'll be opening the floor for Q&A. Unfortunately, we won't be recording that. But if you do have questions and you have your own additional questions, our phone numbers are listed here. We encourage you to take a closer look. If you'd like to download a copy of the software, shoot me an email or give us a call. I'd be delighted to help you out. Again, my name's Christopher David. I want to thank you for taking time today. We'd be happy to make arrangements with you to discuss your application and recommend ways that we can help you move towards a paperless environment. Thank you for joining us.